Thank you. Uh, it's a very eminent panel, and I think the reason for choosing me first is that I'm the junior most MP where they are concerned. Older than most of them, but never mind. I wasted my life in some other profession. Now, this book is about the fifth that I've read in the last 1.5 years, starting with Zia Salam's book, Humra Qureshi's. So there have all been attempts at getting together the idea of a community under attack. But this one takes the cake because I have gone through it, the data that it contains, the contemporariness, the very pointed questions. One of our problems is that we don't ask the right questions. This is one of our major problems, and we can't come out, as days are going on, we just can't come out by putting our finger in the right place. So when did we start getting the first warning? Was it 92? Was it 2002? Was it later? These are questions we can go on asking. The thing that surprises me as a non-practicing Hindu is a question that came up in Macbeth, when Lady Macbeth speaking about Banquo. I won't use the word blood that she used because it will be bound to be misquoted. Who knew that there was so much hate within him? This is one thing that I have not come to understand even now, after trying very hard. Is it manufactured? Is it some sort of a mass hypnotic act? One can go over it, but the facts are, it is there. The second fact is more interesting, and that it is also on a back foot now. And how do I make a bland statement like that? Look at the 2024 results, and you will see that the connect that was being made between Hindi, Hindu, Hindutva has broken down. The seats, the strategy on which he had assumed that this was his pocket constituencies, these are the seats that he has a divine right to. He didn't win from any. So that is the first glimmer of hope, not the size of the opposition and that who made what percentage of vote, but a very damning message of the 24 elections that you did not get away with it. Now, that would be schadenfreude. I'd come to the reality of the situation. The reality is that there is a large sweep in North India that would like to believe a lot of what is being said, but that they are also open to other issues. The supposition that everyone has gone communal, this is not tenable, is just not tenable. If that had been so, UP, they would have swept. They lost they got badly hit in Banaras, they lost the seat of Ayodhya, they lost Badrinath, they lost almost all the holy places on which they were banking. So it's not as if the connect has been cemented. That's the point I'm making. There is some sort of a vague connection, nexus between the two of them. Now, frankly, taking pride in one's religion is not communalism. Taking pride in fact, I personally feel that unless someone takes pride in a set of ideals and virtues, he would be an incomplete person. So the fact that one believes in a set of virtues, in a set of, even if I may use the word legends, in a set of beliefs, does not make him or her communal. What makes him or her communal is to leapfrog over that to hurt the other. That is the essence of it. Now, we have these pointers that are staring at our face, hijab, the same symbol that is taken as liberation in Iran and taken as my right here. It remains a quizzical sort of a thing. I have a funny feeling that the next target would be Namaz and Mike. That would be the next, because the way it's going on, it's almost it's moving on a planning. The next thing we need to worry about, in fact, what is worrying me the most is Bangladesh. Because we are, I come from West Bengal, where I'm proud to say these feelings are the least. I won't say they don't exist. They do within a smaller group, but West Bengal has repeatedly proved that that is not the central issue. The central issue is something different. So, otherwise, how do you explain that the leader of the Congress, my good friend's leader, Adit Chaudhary, gets thrashed in his own constituency, in his own pocket borough, by Yusuf Pathan, who doesn't know a single word of Bangla. He says, you don't need to know it. We are fighting symbolisms. So when Yusuf Pathan goes to Bahrampur, he wins. How do you explain why Kirti Azad wins? How do you explain why Shatrughan Sinha wins? So Bengal has its own oddities, and I'm glad we are odd. I'm so glad. But next to us is Bangladesh. And our feelings for Bangladesh is something that I find very difficult to get across to the rest of India. I put it very simply like this: look at your own state, whatever be it, cut it in between and say, this is one country and that's one country, and henceforth you'll need passports. I have 1/3 of my family in Bangladesh. Many of you have families in Pakistan. Still. Because we're part of the same setup. But today I get a report that that a lot of Bengali workers have been bashed up in Bangalore as Bangladeshis. So frankly, this Bangla and Bangladeshi and all that, these are post-independence constructs. A little emphasis on the dialect and little emphasis on this and that, like the people on this side say jal and they say pani, and that sort of small little things. I'm worried about Bangladesh because I know what's going to happen. It will take a little time to settle between the different forces that have worked, the different forces that have led to the deposition of Sheikh Hasina. And there are within them groups that are totally liberal, whatever people say, groups that are secular, and groups that are utterly fanatic. Bangladesh was never in that light. Jinnah had to persuade them a lot. In fact, he had to set off the Calcutta riots in 46 to make them swing in one direction. But it all happened after the Afghan war, when they came back. So there is a section there, and every incident would be blown out of proportion for the next month or so, and maybe retaliation called for. That's my worry. Bengal would not retaliate, I know that. By nature it won't. They won't fall for it. They won't fall for it. They may get refugees, but they won't fall for it. We had a statement by the Honorable Foreign Minister, which was as blind as souffle, without sugar. And a matter of fact statement that this has happened and that has happened, without ascribing reasons to why it has happened. Now, I won't hog too much of your time, but all I'll say is that the utter hypocrisy of it gets me boiling. You preach the atrocities of Arab conquerors, right? What they did in Sindh. That's a starting point. Because Sindh and Gujarat also fell in that thing. So you preach. Part of it is true. Part of it is true. Why cover facts? But tell me which person who's led a conquest has not done something similar, but will not rest there. You emphasize on that and you go and hug every Arab leader now. And that is the hypocrisy of the situation. That the entire Arab world seems to have taken a view that this guy is the greatest thing produced by God. This is where we get stumped. Mercifully, the West is still open to logic. One small story, and you will understand what's the problem with, what is the root of the problem. You know, in the 13th century, two groups of conquerors or two groups of military groups entered India. It's 10th century. One came in from the West and their episodes are engraved in stone as to what they did and what they made and which battle they fought and which patriot they killed, etc. And the same century, within 40 years, another group comes in from China. Okay, not directly from China. From China, a group, South China, and this has been told to me by the Chief Minister quite proudly, and I checked up the books and said he's right. This group is from South China. They stay for 2 to 3 generations in a country just south of South China that they call Siam. They call themselves Thais. We anglicize them into Thais, but Thai means a part of the anatomy. So Thais, and the Thais break off into 2 groups. The Siam Thais stay back, and the Ahom Thais enter India. I'm referring to my best friends, the Ahoms. They enter India, same century, and for the next 250 years, they set fire to everything. They break down the system of the Brahmaputra Valley. They go in for destruction, pillage. They go in for a lot of other things. Same century, same 2 centuries. And then they settle down and start marrying local people. That's the usual drama. And then they start taking Hindu rituals. And they start accepting Brahmanism. And they become the Ahoms of today. Very, very patriotic Indians. Just the story. And Ahom names you'd know, Borgohai, Gohai, Gogoi, the whole lot. They're all our friends. They accepted that way of life and settled down. The other group that came in also accepted. There is so much in Indian Islam that is not seen elsewhere. From music and dance and emphasis and customs and henna to everything. But that part is not stressed upon. The Indianness of Indian Islam is not stressed upon by both sides. The best thing is on both sides. Neither of them say. Pirism that we have would shock the Wahhabis and Salafis. Pirism. But we have it. So anyway, the point is those who came in and settled down and accepted the Indian religious practices and worships are accepted here. Those who did not remain sore thumbs. That's the bottom line of it all. Today we are paying the price for this segregation, and a part of the solution would lie in efforts sincerely from both sides. From both sides. We have to come up. I know this is I'm known for my tactlessness. I know this is not the best place to say, but whenever there's an atrocity by Islamic extremists somewhere, some shooting that should not have been done, some killing of, I mean, the killing is basically in Islam, but never mind. An atrocity is an atrocity. Voices must come out. It should not be left to this side to come up and make a statement. That is where we stress upon the commonality of being part of the same India and Hindustan. As someone had said, Kisi ka baap ka nahi. This is our Hindustan, and we have to re-strategize to keep it this way. We have to reclaim the land we were born into. Thank you very much.